Just finished my home study. It was really great. He called a girl. He has a girl in mind for me, and I invited her to come here. I'm waiting for her now. She's gonna come here. I had some plans to go out, but I decided to wait, and I'm waiting for her to come because he thinks that she's gonna be a really good match with me. And she has her own car. She's going to college, and she's going to be working with him, with the social worker, because she's really interested and working with them and doing some social work. So I really like this girl. I talked to her on the phone. I invited her to come, and I'm gonna see if it's gonna work out. They don't know that I'm on YouTube. They don't know anything about that. So that stuff I'm not gonna reveal yet, but because I want to make sure that I know everything that happens. I want to see what happens, how it works out for us before I reveal anything. All right, I did want to show you that I did get my water harvest. The two, I think these are 32-gallon containers that I ordered. These are the propylene, I think they are, for drinking water. So two of them are here. Thankfully, the home study guys were here when they came, and they helped me move them over here. But this doesn't weigh a lot because they're empty. So I'll be moving those. I bought these two the other day also. These are the nicer ones. These are going to go over there on this side of the porch. I'm going to have those two there. And then I'm going to cut these, and I'm going to put those. I bought those two. Those were on sale, and I bought those two. So I'm going to put them over here as well with water. And then I also bought some buckets as well, so we can collect water as well. Got my plants growing. So far, this is all that I've got. The cucumbers are coming in. That's about it. I'm not sure. The other ones, maybe the seeds are old, and I might have to start buying some new seeds because I'm just planting old seeds. But I'd had a couple of cold days here, but this is what the plastic is. It closes up at night with some plastic. Coincidence. I don't call them coincidence. I see like the writing on the wall. Like, I really believe that we're going through an internal war in this country, and it's corporations versus the people, because the corporations have gotten together to control us, and this is why they're doing the things that they do. And I'll tell you, a lot of things that you've been seeing with that train. Sorry, my phone is. So the train and the pipeline and all of that stuff, these are abuses that these corporations are doing, and it could be with a part of the military that they've infiltrated, and I'm pretty sure that that's it, because we're here still, years later. 2 years with this guy who stole the show. I spent my day yesterday with the foster girl that is going to be staying here with me. What I'm doing right now is just vacuuming and dusting and getting the spiders out of here. We spent the day together yesterday. We went shopping because we're girls, right? So that's what we do. We go shopping. It's been really nice. I've had a really nice time spending it with her. She's a very smart, intelligent person, and very different from my son because she is only 20, but she's very mature. And a lot of these girls in the system, they've had to mature ahead of time because of all of the situations that they've been through. But they've also gotten a lot of help in counseling. And this is the thing that I like about this program, is that they choose if they want to be in foster care till they're 23. So at 18, they could leave the system, go get a job or go to school or go live with family members or live wherever they want. But if they're staying, is because they want the help and they want the services. They want to make something of themselves. So, and I see that in her. I really do see that in her. So I love that about this program. And the home study is very simple. It's basically a background check. They check my background, fingerprints, things like that is what they do. I don't have to do all of the other stuff I did when they were little kids. And I do get a check every month. She's going to be in the RV, but she's also going to have common areas in the house where she's going to be able to be in there. So if it's really hot out, she doesn't have to be in here. She can be in the house. There are some rules. I had to make some rules because if she's going to be in the house, I'm working in there. She's going to have to use headphones if she's on her phone. She has to work and she has to go to school. That's one of the conditions of being here and living here is she has to do either one of the two, preferably two, but she's got to do that. If she's not doing that, then she can't be here and we'll have to find another girl to stay here. My plans are this. She's going to be in this RV. Once she reaches 21, I'm in the process of considering to put 2 rental tiny homes on the property. I'll talk about that in another video because that's going to have to do with finances. If you remember, I was doing videos on semi-off-grid and I kind of stopped for a while because we're not getting a lot of views on those. But I did promise I was going to talk about my idea of semi-off-grid living with financially. So I will go there because that is a part of what's going on here. So that is something that I will bring up in the future and a few weeks down the road. I'll talk about that stuff. So I'm going to get back to my stuff here, cleaning. That's why I'm so busy. I can't really do like fancy videos this week or lots of projects around the house. Usually I would be doing projects and showing you all the stuff I'm doing. So I pretty much had to stop doing everything that I'm supposed to be on track to do and do this because I've got to get this done because next weekend she's moving in and I have to get this installed and make sure that it's working. So that's going to take me probably a good half of the day because she's going to be having her stuff in here and she's going to be moving her stuff, but I will need her to help me a little bit here. That's going to take my weekend next weekend. So I need to get stuff done. Plus I also have to do tax. Plus I have to get the garden planted. I've already started the seedlings. Some things are not growing. Some things may start growing. So once the soil gets a little warmer, some of those seeds might take off. Like my tomato plants should have taken off, but they're starting now to come up. Good morning, everybody. I'm super excited today because it's Monday morning and I have so much stuff that I got to get done today. I spent Saturday with the foster child that is going to be staying here and she's probably going to move in this weekend. So I spent my Sunday kind of organizing the RV. There's still some stuff I have to get in there before she comes back. She comes to the property. I'm going to help her move a dresser and nightstand also in my van. Here, I just want you to see that I did get the rain barrels out of the boxes. Another project that I have to do. I decide what I'm going to do because these are, I think, propylene. So they are made for drinking water. The only problem that I have with that is my roof is going to release little rocks and chemicals and things into the water. And I really wanted these barrels for drinking water for both of us, in case there's an emergency. Then I bought some other 32-gallon trash bins. Those are going to be water harvest for plants and washing clothes and things like that if something was going to happen here. Right now that I have my well working, I could fill these up with drinking water. Now in the future, if something was to happen, I could cut those and then put the tanks underneath and then start collecting the water. So that is an option that I have. So I'm still kind of thinking what I'm going to do, but I know I have to lift it up off the ground with some cement blocks. Now, because I've been so busy with this, with the foster girl and doing stuff for that, I'm like hungry around here because I'm a homemade person. I always make my own food. So I haven't made bread. I haven't made yogurt in the last week. I want to make some onion relish, which is my favorite to snack on, and just things like that I got to get done. So I'm going to use today as an all day, get stuff done around the house day so I can get all of these little things done. Also, the battery in my RV, because I've been really bad about starting it. And I bought the battery last year, but it has a 3-year warranty. So I have to take it out of the truck and see if it is the battery. I want to bring it out to the back so I can wash it, give it a good cleaning. I've also been taking out a lot of excess things that I have in there. I went through the cab yesterday and just removed a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't need anymore. Because my trips are not going to be long. They're going to be short little trips. Hopefully, if this works out with Joni, I spoke to her social worker, once she's here for a while, he said she could be trusted. She's been in that situation where she's taken care of animals in the past for other people, for other foster homes. So I'll probably leave her here for 2 days so I can go camping, or just one day. We might start off with just one day. I'll go closer to a local area and spend the day going camping, hiking, and doing stuff, and then coming back, seeing how she does. And then that way I can be gone for 2 days. So I want to be able to travel again in my RV, but locally, not far. Big trip is going to be to Alaska in 2024, 2025. So that would be either next year or the year after. Depends on, you know, the price of the gas, what's going on in the country. Right now, I can tell you if things are going the way they are in this country right now, I will not be traveling in 2024. So here is my bread. And I wanted this place to be a little bit more feminine than it is, because it was for a boy, it was for my son, to kind of change the decor around a little bit. Now I did take a lot of things out of here because I was planning on selling it, and I did use that in my room, in my writer's room, but it's very boyish in here. So I'm going to kind of change it up a little bit. Plus I have a gift for her, because on my Nomadic Connections and Reflections page of my website, it teaches people how to live in cars. We also have a place there on the website for domestic violence, so women can learn to live in cars if they're in a domestic violence situation and they don't want to go to a shelter. So we have women who make quilts for us to give to the homeless women who are going to be moving in their cars. And I have this beautiful quilt that was given to me, donated to me, and I've already done a video like that. And I also have this beautiful crocheted throw that was given to me. So I am going to put this here for her, because she is homeless. She's foster. She's not homeless anymore. She's going to be here, and this is going to be gifted to her, so that when she leaves here, this is her home, and when she's ready to leave here, she could take this with her. And I'm so thankful for the women who are doing this for us. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this boyish looking bedspread and put the bedspread there for her, and take that pillow and put it on the sofa, so it looks a little bit more like a girl's space than it does a boy's space. Making it a little bit girlier for her than it was, because it was a little boyish. I took out the little red cars. I actually had a pink car. This is what the room looked like now. I put the throw here. I put the quilt here for her with the pillow. I didn't have another pillow. This is just one that I had. And she can buy her own pillow if she wants. I just wanted to look a little bit more feminine for her. And that's how it's looking from here. And this is the other side. And then I put the pillow here for her. This wasn't Christian's pillow, but I had found it in one of the cabinets, and I just thought it would be a little bit more younger for her here. So that's what it's looking like now. Super excited. I think she's gonna love it. By the way, I also gave the Keurig that I have in my truck camper that I use with my generator. I don't really need it. I have another coffee maker that was here. It's a drip coffee maker. I prefer the drip, but she does prefer the Keurig. So I thought, well, I'll just give her that one. She could use that one. She's gonna be busy. She's gonna be going to school, and she's also going to be working for social services. The same social worker hired her so that she can start working as his assistant, helping him out. So that's a great thing for her. I love that she's getting ahead in life. So I think I cleaned up the camper really well. I'll probably just have to give it another cleaning, because we always have so much dirt here. I do need to get her a bottle there for water, so she can have water for washing and stuff like that. As you know, we're using these kind of bottles. I do have to change out the water here because it's turned yellow over time. There's no bleach in here. So I've done that. And we're pretty much ready to go. I hope she likes it. If she doesn't like this, I'll put back the other one. But this is a little bit more girly. I think she will like it better suited for her than to have like the memory of Christian here and what it looked like when he was here. It's making it feel like it's more her place than it was his place. So I hope she likes that. She also has a younger sister. She has actually 2 more sisters that are older than her, but she does have a younger sister that she wants to be able to come and visit her. She's in the foster care system. So she's 18, I think. So I told her that she could have her sister come over and stay with her once a month if she wanted to spend the weekend with her. So because we have the sofa bed here, her sister could sleep in the sofa bed. So I mean, we'll see how it goes for now, and then I'll meet her sister and see if it's okay. All right, now that I have the bread, now I'm gonna get to the yogurt. Before I start, I gotta make sure that my chickens are good. There's Muffin sleeping there on the porch, and they're waiting here for their food. You hungry? Okay, give me a few minutes and I'm gonna go make it for you. So they're out there because in the afternoon I do give them treats when they're foraging, but in the morning I do not give them treats when they're foraging because they have to get their fill for the day when they're foraging in the morning. So that way it's not costing me so much money to feed them grain during the day. They get most of their protein from the bugs and other things that they find outside. So they're gonna wait for their meal and they're gonna go back in the run in a few minutes. But they sure do always want to beg to see if I will give them a treat. And sometimes I have caved, so that's why they're sitting out there. And they'll probably end up pooping in front of my door too. So I have to be watchful when I go out. So the timer went off. My bread is done. You can see it's been sitting for a while. I have this pan where I have some parchment paper in here, and I just keep adding bread here. I'm probably gonna have to throw this out in the next time, but this paper is still good. So all I'm gonna do is throw in the dough in here, let it sit, cover it and let it sit, and then I'm going to bake this off later today. Make sure that you take out the little paddle that's in there, and then you can see it's kind of dried up, so I'm just going to knead it here in my hand for a second, just a little bit. And that's good enough. And then I'm just going to place it in here on parchment paper. Put a towel and I'm going to let it sit here on the counter. And then later on today, I'm going to cook it in my oven for 25 minutes. Two milk powders that I've always been using is Nido. I keep like 4 of these always on hand at home for everything. And I recently just purchased this one, and this is the one that I tried the yogurt with. I've always made it out of liquid milk, but I tried it with this and it came out so delicious. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so creamy and delicious. I'm going to do it again today. And if I ever run out of this, I could use this as well. But I know I had good results with this one, and that's what I'm going to use today. To make sure that you have a container that is well sealed, and then you're going to also have some leftover yogurt from their last batch. And this is the one that I have from my last batch. And make sure that it's not chilled in the refrigerator. You want this to sit out coming to room temperature. Then I'm going to pour everything in here. I'm going to be making the yogurt now, and this is with powdered milk. I'm making with Anthony's. My window here is very sunny during the day, and I'm thinking I'm going to put it here on the windowsill or in my camper window, or just put it outside where the sun is, because the sun's going to do the work for me, and I really want to try doing this as an off-grid type of yogurt. So what I'm doing is just dissolving the powdered milk here with the water. I put 1 cup of powdered milk, whole milk, and 3 cups of water. I put 1 cup and I kind of stirred it around, try to dissolve it, and then I added the other 2 cups. So what I'm going to wait is for it to get to a boil, and then I'm going to turn it off. Okay, and so at this point you see that the milk is starting to get little bubbles on it. That means it's going to start to boil soon. So you do not want to leave from here, and you want to keep stirring it, because this is coming to a rolling boil now. So right here you see the boil. That is starting to boil, and it's rising. So that's it. When you see it rising, coming up like that, it's done. Take it off of the flame and turn off the flame, because if not, it'll boil over. Okay, you want to make sure you put it in a place, because now you got to cool this off. I put it in the container I'm going to store it in. I put the thermometer in. It's still pretty high, but I put it in here because that pan is hot, and as long as it's in the pan, it's not going to cool as fast as I want it. So you can see it's at 120 degrees. We want to get it to about between 115, 110. If it's a little lower than that, it doesn't matter. It'll be fine. We're going to put the yogurt with the bacteria in there. We're going to move it, and then I'm going to put this in my truck, because my truck is facing the sun, and this is going to cook with no electricity. I use the sun for lots of things. Right now it is 9:30 in the morning and the sun has not come around yet. It's coming off the east, and this is the south. So I'm going to get lots of sun here all day, pretty much till the evening. I keep my thermos of hot water here because in a little while I'm going to get lots of sun here. This is going to keep my thermos nice and hot. I also keep in my kitchen a little Ozark Trail solar powered light. So I always have a light here. If I'm going out in my car, I'll take this with me in case I ever break down. But I do have a light that recharges with the sun. And I have the yogurt over here. So I'm also going to take advantage of all the sun that I get. And now I haven't done this here in the window yet. And I might be inspired to do it at some point in the window. But I think that has to be planned. I'm going to be watching today for the time exactly that there's sun on this windowsill, so that in the future I don't have to put it in my car. I can just put it inside of my house here on the windowsill. As long as I get from 4 to 8 hours, I should be good. I'm bringing this out to my car so that I can put it on the window shield. I have my yogurt here on the windowsill. Oh, my truck is open in the back, just so you see, it's open back there. So I'm just gonna let it sit there. I know it's not gonna cook in there, but it'll be warm enough. So we're just starting to get the sun coming to the south. So I'll check this in 4 hours. I'll set a timer. All right, I'm in the process of canning some chicken. I just canned some heavy cream. Very simple to do in my canner. As you can see, that's heavy cream. The canner's on for the chicken. So this is the yogurt that I had in the car. You see it's nice and firm. It's just, that's the whey. You can take that off. You can drink that, put that in a smoothie. It's delicious. It's nice and firm, as you can see. And I have poured off the whey right here in this little cup, and it's so delicious to drink this. I'm gonna go ahead and drink it. It's really good, and it's nice and warm. It's so good. See how firm that is? So creamy. A muffin wants to go out, so I'm gonna take her out, but I'm just gonna tell you, you can't be in a moving car. Your car has to be stable somewhere. So if you're parked for the day at a BLM spot, you can make yogurt. And all you have to do is just put it in the sun. If it's facing this, you want your car facing the sun, but your windows have to be open. You want to be able to get air in there. It can't cook in there. It can't be like an oven in the car is what I'm trying to say. So my back window in my truck was open, so there's no way the heat's going to stay in there. But the sun was heating it up. That's why it got firm like that. And that's what I do now, because I usually run my Instant Pot to make yogurt, and I don't need to do that. It'll actually cook faster because with the sun, I think well, I checked it after 4 hours. It wasn't done yet. So maybe 6 hours, where the Instant Pot is 8 hours, check it in 6. If there's good sun and you're facing south, you can make yogurt in your RV, in your car, wherever you are, in a van. You can put it outside in the sun. It doesn't have to be in the car. So this is my heavy whipping cream, as you can see. When you press down, you'll notice that there's no give there. So I know that they're nice and sealed. That's all heavy cream right here. That's a half gallon of heavy cream. So I'm going to leave it here, and tomorrow I'm going to label them. But the first thing I'm going to do is take off the rims to make sure that they're sealed. Anything that's not sealed, now that it's cooled off, I would put in the refrigerator, because obviously it didn't seal. So the way that I test it is I took off the rims, then you take it and you lift it up from there very gently. If it moves, then you know it didn't seal, but they should stay up. That means that they're nice and sealed. So I will leave those here. They're still kind of warmish, so I'm going to leave those to cool here all day, and then tomorrow morning I will label them and put them in my pantry. Look at the way she's laying down. Mama, you okay? Are you okay, Mama? I love muffins. Look at her, she's so funny. I just wanted to come on here really quick and let you know that these kind of methods that you see me doing here, like heavy cream and some others that you'll see me doing in the future, just like I did with the milk a few weeks ago, these are not FDA approved canning methods, but I do believe that they are okay, because especially with the milk, the Ball book back in the day, way back in the day, they used to have canning methods in their Ball book for milk, and they have removed those recipes, but people are still doing them today because these things were passed from generation to generation. The Amish continue to can milk and cream and a whole bunch of different things that the FDA says no. So I belong to a Facebook, well, to several Facebook groups that have to do with Rebel Canning, and this is what it is. And for me, it's my kitchen, my rules, just like they say also, it's their kitchen, their rules. They were taught by their grandparents, their grandparents, you know, learned from their mother. So these are recipes that have gone through the generations, and they do well. And then if I have a question, I ask on the Facebook group, and they teach. So that's one of the great things. For me, it's been great to be able to can now, because I live so far from places that I'm able to plan my trips. So if I run out of something, I can just go into my pantry and grab that. Do your own research. It might not be for you, but just understand that botulism is not some secret little enemy that comes into your food and you're going to open it up and it's going to be like sneaky in there and you're going to get sick. Most of the time, your food is either going to smell bad or you're going to see something visible in the food that's going to tell you, no, I'm not eating this. So of course, if you take something out of your pantry and you open the lid and the lid is open, if it doesn't pop, give you that poppy noise, or it doesn't give you some resistance, then obviously this is something that's been open. It could have just opened in your cabinet. Number two, you also want to keep a thermometer in your pantry so you know how hot it is gets in there. I have one here because if I had a blackout here, I want to know how hot my pantry is getting, because usually the heat could affect the food as well. So when you go to grab something in your pantry, you're not just going to grab it carelessly like you would something from your refrigerator. You're going to be more cautious because you don't want to shake it up. You want to actually take it out gently, and you want to look at it. You want to see through the jar. That's why it's in a glass jar that is clear, so that you can see through and see what's inside. If you see changing color, if you see it turning green, if you see anything like mold in there, then you're going to want to throw it out. Now, I go into my pantry every week and I look at the food when I'm in there. I'm just not there taking something or putting something in. I'm also observing the food, because as I'm learning, I want to see if any of this food changes color. And that's important for me to know, because if I go in my pantry and my milk is brown and it really should be off-white, then I know something's going on with that, and I'm going to want to look at that and throw it out. So it's not something that is so invisible you're not going to notice. The next thing is, when you open up the jar, does it smell bad? You want to smell it. You want to look at it. You want to observe it from every side in there. And the smell test is your best weapon, because you know when something goes bad as far as food is concerned, it is going to smell. There's going to be an odor in there. If it doesn't smell fresh and it doesn't smell good, like something you want to eat, then you want to throw it out, because most likely there's something wrong with it. It could have been the temperature was not right, or you forgot about it and it's been there a little bit too long. So those are just recommendations that I have for you. I don't think that canning is anything very difficult. But I do think that you do have to be cautious as far as hygiene is concerned, as far as sterilizing your jars and following the directions that most recipes call for, which are in order to protect you. So with that said, I just want you to understand that just because the FDA doesn't say that something is approved doesn't mean that you cannot can it, because they are not testing those things. Because remember, we live in a world where corporations control everything. So for them, they're not interested for you to be canning and saving food, right? They want you to come to the store every week and spend high dollars on food. For me, I'd rather buy a gallon of milk, can what I'm not using, and I'm saving money that way, and make my own evaporated milk, and I can buy big bottles of things and can them for those days when I need them, or for prepping situations. So with that said, I thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.